Hi guys, my name is Lily Nova and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share a few updates that I received from the Alliance or Benevolent ETs the other night. So it was November 3rd in the middle of the night I was woken up and received some telepathic contact regarding the election and what is to come after. So I wanted to share those notes with you guys. I wrote all of the messages down. And yeah, so here we go. So the first thing I see as I was woken up, I started seeing visions of Kamala, and I thought I was just kind of seeing random visions or whatever, and I was like, I don't want to see this right now. And then I heard very clearly, loudly in my head, you're going to want to hear this. And I realized that I was being contacted by the Alliance, who I found out. And so I was like, okay, I tuned in, and I see a spiritual battle, a huge uprising of spiritual benevolent beings, war, pushing the negative out. I saw Kamala and they said they're out. They're on their way out. So let me preface this real quick by saying I've never been a political person, but as most of you probably know, Trump has come in as from what I've learned, a conduit of change. And there are negative entities controlling a lot of these other politicians, and that's the way it's been for a very, very long time. So there are beings coming in now who are system breakers. Okay, so they showed me Kamala. They said they're on their way out. And then I heard swing states. He is winning, Mr. T. Swing states. And if you remember from my video, messages from the Federation I published about a month ago about what's coming, and I'm going to add a few notes from that. It was a video where I posted a conversation between me and the Journey to Truth guys. They also said that, and this was the Galactic Federation of Worlds who contacted me at that time and told me that T was winning, and they were making sure of that. Because there has been a lot of interference. So that's one of the next things that the Alliance told me, the Electoral College. So I don't know how elections work and the voting and all of that. I don't really know how that works, but they were saying the Electoral College, he is winning by a landslide. Election interference, voter fraud. There's a lot of that going on right now. And if you guys saw my recent video I posted a few days ago, I kind of went undercover. I went to go vote early and I'm in St. Louis, and I went to go vote early at this place, and I kind of tuned in and remote viewed and saw negative reptilian beings changing votes from red to blue. So I saw that they were changing, and I think that may have just, well, not just been at that facility, but that's happening. That's been a huge issue, and that's not a conspiracy theory. That's been an issue for years and years and years, but is becoming so blatantly obvious at this point. So they're saying there's a lot of election interference, a lot of voter fraud going on, and I wanted to mention something. Somebody mentioned Magenta Pixie, who has a YouTube channel, seeing something similar about red votes being turned to blue votes. And so I checked out that video, and I thought it was very, very interesting that she was picking up on that also, and she was shown that. But something else that she was shown was squares turning white, and she interpreted that as benevolent higher forces coming in and protecting some of these votes. So I thought that was awesome, and I really resonated with that. And she also saw the color like blue and red, because it's not about, as you guys probably know, the system is corrupt, and it's made to make us fight each other. And what the Alliance and Benevolent ETs have shown me, and what Source has shown me, is that these systems are going to be crumbling. And what Magenta Pixie said was she saw the red and blue, and then it turned to purple. It all just turned to purple. And I thought that was very interesting. She said, interpret that as you will, but I feel it as kind of unity coming together, and we're starting to see this with a lot of people, no matter what, if they are red or blue or whatever, coming together to take down the cabal and the deep state. So I thought that was really interesting, and then also bringing down the two-party system. So And with the election interference thing, I want us all to take a second and say we do not consent. So I believe I was shown that the other day whenever I went undercover and went to this voter poll and saw this. I believe I saw that to share that. And then also for people to say, I do not consent to lies or manipulation, and affirm that to the universe. We do not consent. We do not consent to lies or manipulation. All right? It's very, very powerful. I really, truly believe that we change the outcome and we change our reality whenever we become aware of it, and we affirm to the universe that we do not consent to these things happening any longer. Next, I saw J.D. Vance, and I saw the Prince, Harry, and the royal family. And the Alliance told me he's going after them. He has personal interest, they said. I asked why. And I saw slaves. I saw like P. Diddy, Epstein. He knows something. Vance, J.D. Vance, he knows something. He has personal interest and is going to help take them down. He's going after them. And I see Hillary. She is afraid. I see the Democratic and Republican logos, the two-party system going down. This election and what follows will eventually bring down the red versus blue two-party system. It has already begun. Things will never be the same. And then I heard, they said maritime law. And I've heard that term before. I didn't know what it meant, so I had to look it up. It says the body of legal rules that governs ships and shipping, law of the sea. And then I saw bodies, ships, and shipping containers. So I believe this has to do with the trafficking, which is a huge problem, and the cabal has a huge role in that. And the Alliance said they're going to find something. An accident, bodies, ships, shipping containers, having to do with maritime law. The scheme, and I saw kind of like this pyramid scheme of trafficking and slavery and blackmail is over, they said. I see Diddy, Epstein, but they're going for the top. So these white hats like J.D. Vance and T and RFK Jr., they're going for the top of the food chain. So Epstein and Diddy are not the top of the food chain. So that's where they were showing me this pyramid. And like Diddy's down here, Epstein's over here, and then there's higher up. And I really keep seeing visions of Hillary. Yeah, yep, okay. And now I just wrote that down. Actually, right after that, I see Hillary again. And then at this time, I voiced concerns over probability of this timeline because, as you know, all these different timelines are happening all at once. And so on my channel, we've been focusing a lot recently on anchoring in the highest timeline, and the messages from the Federation about a month ago, they showed me time as a bubble, the timeline as a bubble, and this highest timeline that I'm describing to you now was dilating. They used the word time dilation. This timeline's dilating, it's growing, and then these other negative timelines are collapsing. So a lot of that is happening right now. So I voiced concerns over the probability of everything that I'm sharing with you right now. And they said, this is the timeline. Truth. The Alliance. They are all over, everywhere. We are everywhere. Walking the wolves out of the park from their dens is the visual that I got. And then I heard ritual abuse exposed. And I said, are you saying ritual abuse? The dark rituals will be exposed. And to which they replied, it has already begun. And then I saw cloning facilities. They're being shut down. And they said they can't make any more of them. And I asked of who? And I saw Biden, crooked politicians and celebrities like a factory. These cloning facilities like a factory, just making these mind-controlled clones. And I know that sounds really out there, but that's part of it. Next, global trafficking trade going down. And I see people like Mel Gibson and others bringing disclosure to this in the coming years. I know he's working on a documentary about what happened in Ukraine and all of the missing children. And of course, we've got all of the missing children from the border that have been trafficked in through the open borders. Really terrible stuff. I see J.D. Vance again, Alliance, positive reinforcements, Ashtar Galactic Command, which is a positive military, Syrian military, but I see them as almost Pleiadian looking, very human looking with the lighter hair. Ashtar Galactic Command, taking satellites and weapons down, eradicating the moon and Mars. Globalists, poison. I saw Klaus Schwab. I asked, what will he go down for? They replied, a number of things. Globalist elite. J.D. Vance is going after him. Klaus linked to the pedo. I don't even like saying that word, but he's linked to that. J.D. has children. He takes it to heart. It's personal, which I know it is for a lot of us. There are some really, really dark things that have been going on this planet for a while, and my star family showed me a lot of the love and light in the beginning, and over the last 2 years, I've really been red-pilled and shown a lot of the darker things, and it's really hard to stomach what's going on underground, in the shadows, to the children. So I'm really happy to hear that this is being eradicated. Then I heard Saddam Hussein. His connections to nefarious people, the elite, 3-letter agencies, will be exposed. He is a plant, or was a plant. 9/11 inside job. When the 3-letter agencies goes down, CIA, many things will go down with it. Many things will be exposed. RFK Jr. and the CIA. They killed his father and uncle. Electoral votes, swing states, they are winning. What can we expect for the transition after? I asked them. They replied, it will be rocky at the start, but it will smooth out. There will be some civil unrest, and we have to anchor our light and not fight with each other. We have to come together in unity. This isn't about red versus blue. This is about good versus evil and liberating the planet from slavery and mind control and all of these corrupt systems. That's what this is about. So we really just need to anchor our light, anchor our peace, anchor in our heart spaces. I see the military. J.D. Vance, big role. They really kept highlighting J.D. Vance in this contact session. Butler, Pennsylvania. MK Ultra assassin. CIA. So the guy, and I immediately thought this, the assassination attempt on T, I immediately knew it was an MK Ultra project. That this kid, or whoever it was, had been programmed. And I remember Tyler from Journey to Truth mentioning a while back that a lot of these shooters, and even like school shooters, had something in common where they said that they heard the voice of God tell them to do it, to do these terrible things. That is what they call voice to God technology. They can literally put thoughts into your brain. They do that through these satellites, through these parasites, which are being taken down. But so that's incredible that they were saying, affirming that this MK Ultra assassin and the 3-letter agency involved with it. Well, I asked to clarify, are you saying that that will be exposed? To which they replied, it has to be and will be. That's a big one. A coup, overthrowing. I see Hillary Clinton again. Financial system changes coming. Foreign currency, cryptocurrency. Some of it's going to skyrocket, I believe. It will impact the world. And then the Jedi. I saw the Jedi. I started seeing Jedi. Gifts coming online. Rapid healing. Rapidly activating gifts. These are the starseeds and light workers. And even humanity. Rapidly activating their gifts now that as we are liberated and as it is safe to do so. They said safe to do so with these changes, when these changes occur. Superhuman. They said superhuman, the best. We are very, very powerful creator beings. We have been suppressed and cut off from our source light. And as that is eradicated, as we are liberated, and I'm not saying that anybody is a savior at all. I want to clarify that. That is not what I'm saying. Everybody has a role in this, and we are all conduits of change, exposing the shadows, exposing the truth. And as this happens, and these negative beings are on their way out, and the corruption is exposed, they're saying we will be coming online, these superhuman abilities, telepathy, psychic abilities, healing abilities, being able to heal through our hands with our intention. Many people can already do this, but it's going to be growing and activating more and more rapidly. And we're basically going to be superhuman. There's a reason why there are superheroes and why that's so popular, because we resonate with it, because that's who we truly are. Then I heard Teddy Roosevelt sworn into secrecy. I thought that was interesting, and I looked it up. He was the president in 1901 through 1909. And I sensed Nachtwaffen, the Dark Fleet, the Nazi Dark Fleet, illegal operations, the programs, Dark Elite, the control. So Teddy had some sort of a role, not saying he was bad or endorsed it or anything, but they were saying he was sworn into secrecy about something having to do with that. The programs. That was back in 1901 through 1909. He was president. I see CERN dismantled, being dismantled. Nazis being pushed out, dismantled. So CERN has been messing with timelines, trying to create these artificial negative timelines and pushing us into this negative timeline. And they've been relentlessly trying to combat our highest timeline and our ascension and our liberation. But it's not going to work. And they're saying that CERN is going to be dismantled. They won't be able to mess with the timelines anymore. And you'll see this with mandala effects a lot. The timeline shifts, bleed through from other timelines. So all of that is going to be dismantled. CERN's going to be dismantled. Then I saw the Anunnaki, and they used the word enigma, which I looked that up, and it means basically like mysterious. And they said savior complex, the worship gene will be turned off, which was put in by some of the negative Anunnaki into our genetics to make us worship and create this kind of this cult that can be controlled to make us more easily controlled. So that's going to be turned off. Remote view, secret documents, RFK Jr. And then I started hearing the song, I Put a Spell on You. Crystals, dark crystals, alluding to dark magic and mind control. Dismantling. So there's a lot of dark magic and dark rituals. You guys have probably heard of Bohemian Grove, that these elites, the cabal, do, which is really disgusting, but they're saying that's going to be dismantled. I saw Elon Musk, freedom fighters. I saw the leader of China, persecution, directed energy weapons being taken down, dismantled, exposed. And then which I believe, whenever I tuned into the Lahaina, what happened with Lahaina, the Lahaina fires, I saw the leader of China and the president like shaking and making an agreement to hit Lahaina with directed energy weapons to destroy that community, destroy that land as a land grab. So they're saying that these directed energy weapons are going to be taken down. And then I heard Alpha Centauri, and I felt a flood of love. I felt family and friends, star family and friends from Alpha Centauri. And the Alpha Centaurians stepped in and they said, "We are here welcoming you back into the stars. They will discover life here." Alpha Centauri, if I remember correctly, is the closest star system to Earth. And they put in parentheses, they already have discovered life here, but it will be disclosed. And I was kind of consulting them about these messages, and they said the blind will soon see. And after all this, the mind control programming is eliminated, all these things are dismantled, people will be able to see the illusion, this 3D matrix illusion coming down, crumbling, being dismantled. It's kind of like the movie They Live, made in the 80s, where the guy puts on the glasses, and whenever he puts on these glasses, he can see the reality, he can see through the illusion. On all the billboards there, it says, like, it's subliminal messaging saying obey, marry and have children, consume, all these subliminal messages. And then he sees some of these dark entities walking around cloaked as human, but he sees their true form with these glasses. And in that movie, there's also a satellite that is sending out frequencies, mind control frequencies, putting thoughts, emotions, and they feed off of your emotions, the negative emotions, the hatred, the separation. These negative entities, they feed off of that. Stop feeding them. Do not give in to the hate. Do not give in to the separation. Do not give in to the anger. Just like Yoda says, those are paths to the dark side. Temporal wars ending. So the timeline wars are ending. Expansion of consciousness. New horizons. Celebration. Beautiful. So that was basically the end of that. And maybe I'll go through some of my older messages very quickly. Not older, but from about a month ago from the Federation of Worlds. And they were basically saying the Dark Fleet, the Nazi Draco Alliance being cleared out, leaving. They're incapacitated, deprived of strength or power. And then they showed me the time bubble and time dilation, the one true ascending timeline expanding, these other negative timelines collapsing. I see a tower emitting frequencies, destroying the negative entities, purging them from the planet. I see light spreading through the tunnels and bases, time travel. The negative going back to whence they came, forced out, leaving, bugs, parasites. The royal elite, I saw them, reptilians, puppet masters, in a meeting. And I guess discussions were taking place for them to get out. They're being pushed out. The key to victory. Encoded in your DNA, your heart, the Magdalene bloodlines. Stargates, they're taking control of the Stargates. I saw SpaceX, Elon Musk. I saw the moon and Mars. He will do great things for humanity. Space exploration and cleanup. Hunter Biden laptop. They'll find loads of evidence. Collusion with China. Selling the U.S. to China. Corruption. Hawaii. Xi Jinping and Biden involvement in destroying Lahaina with directed energy weapons for real estate. Ukraine and the child trafficking rings operating in Ukraine, taking all of the missing children, will be exposed. Nazi bases. There's a Stargate there in Ukraine. Nazis were using, but they told me that it had been moved. The White Hats Alliance are protecting it now. The Nazis leaving. Many corrupt companies are going to be sued for trillions of dollars. The Rothschilds. Money will be returned to the taxpayers, to the people. RFK Jr. will bring great changes. He is part of Trump's transition team and the CIA. The three-letter agencies will be exposed and taken down. It will collapse. I see the military, soldiers, in order to help keep the peace. The JFK files being exposed, and the three-letter agency's involvement in that, and they said it was going to shake the world. It was going to wake a lot of people up. The Bush administration, JFK files lead to traces back to Bush Sr. Many of the corrupt politicians and elites will be found guilty, charged for fraud. All sorts of fraud, tax fraud, criminal activity. The justice system is being cleaned up as we speak, being replaced. There will be no more weaponization of the Justice Department, no more corruption. What about Obama? He has criminal ties with Biden. He will be exposed and brought to justice. They're all on a sinking ship. Deep state, all of the underground networks, the rings, trafficking rings, the elite, dark worshippers will be exposed. Klaus Schwab. The blackmailing scheme. Klaus Schwab will be linked to this. He is very evil. And then there will be a time of peace, of prosperity. This will be difficult for many to process. The transition will be difficult for some. Have compassion for your fellow brothers and sisters. There will be a golden age, and I'm seeing advanced, ancient technology, artifacts coming to light, med beds. People are already starting to create their versions of this advanced healing technology, ancient healing technology. Remembering our true history, a golden age of advancement, prosperity, wisdom, discovery. They will discover the pole shift and why it happened, the collapse of Atlantis, Lemurian. Humans will also discover that there was life on Mars. They will find ancient temple structures there. Anything else? The Bible, the truth within it, the prophecy, the corruption in it revealed. And then they said that they gave me a few dates, and this was, again, a month ago from the Federation of Worlds. April's of great influence. January 10th, of that date of great influence. Hillary being found guilty of some things. People are gathering everything they can on her now. It's already in the works. Epstein list coming out. Revelations, purge of evil from the earth. And RFK also going after like the chemtrails, and one of the first things that he said he's going to do is eliminate fluoride from the water, which calcifies your pineal gland, lowers your IQ, makes you docile. The pesticides, big pharma, unity. And also I want to mention, so they mentioned the Kamala and Trump polls. There's a lot of just illusion going on. You can't really pay attention to what's on the mainstream. Because it's lies. And they're lying about like the polls and all of that. They're trying to make, and they try to make us think that we are more divided than we really are. So we really need to be focusing on coming together in unity to expose all of this. And that was basically the last of it. So those were my recent messages. I would say go out, it's time for us to open our heart centers, our throat chakras, speak out, say we do not consent to lies, deceit, corruption. Hold your light. Our solar plexus is being activated and opened. Our center for power. and the planet is being liberated. I hope you enjoyed these messages, and please give this video a like. Feel free to drop a comment, and yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you later, Star Brothers and Sisters.